Welcome to session 2, and this is video 2.1. In this video we're going to talk about body tools, so ways that you can use your body to interrupt the stress response. Let's start with an empowering question. How can you use your body to stop the stress response? Ask yourself that question and you may come up with some really interesting answers, far beyond what I'm going to share with you here. And share them with us on the Facebook page because some of your ideas may help other people as well. Grab your journal or your notebook and worksheet 1.3. We're going to be going back to that worksheet in addition to this session 2 worksheets to add tools for all of the triggers that you listed out in last session's videos. By the way, on the back of my business cards, I list the 9 basic tools plus an extra one, so 10 tools. If you're interested in having some cards, then send an email to me with your address and I'll pop some in the mail to you. People put these on their refrigerators, their computers, their bathroom mirrors, all over their house so that they can make sure that they're remembering to use the tools and they have the tools right in front of them on a daily basis. So please send me an email with your address and I'd love to get that out to you. The first tool I want to share with you is to relax your abdominal muscles. So take your hand and place it on your belly and just let it all hang out. Totally relax your belly muscles. You can't see mine. If you could, my belly's just way out there right now. But totally relax your belly muscles and just let it all really super hang out there. What's going on is that when you relax your belly muscles, you tell your brain that everything must be fine. Because if you're going into fight or flight, you're going to start to coil up and tense your belly muscles. By relaxing them, you trick your brain into thinking that everything's going to be okay. This is a really simple tool. You can do it while you're driving, while you're sitting in a waiting room, while you're waiting for a test to start. You can do it anywhere, anytime. If you're standing in line at the post office during the holidays and there's a really long line, you can relax here so you don't trigger stress hormones over having to wait in line. It's a simple tool, easy to employ. One of the first times I used it, I was taking one of my sons to a hockey game and it was going up the highway, total black ice. If you're a northerner, then you know that black ice is when this layer of ice hits the blacktop and you can't see it. It's like translucent. So suddenly you're on it. Well, there's 2 big SUVs off on the road and I'm going on my little Prius here up to the hockey game. And it was pretty scary, and I realized that when I relaxed my abdominal muscles, then I didn't white knuckle the steering wheel. My hands relaxed as well. So try it, very simple tool. Is this a tool that would be helpful on any of the things on your trigger list? If so, go ahead and add it. The next tool was a part of your celebration 3-point shot or Ferris wheel. It's posture. I call it curves of life posture. There's 2 curves in your back that it's really great for you to work with. One is your cervical curve here in your neck, and the other is your lumbar curve. Let's talk about the neck curve first. If you're on your phone all the time or on your laptop in this down position, your head is hanging forward and it's putting a lot of pressure, many pounds of pressure. I've heard from as many as 30 to 60 pounds of pressure on your spine. Your head is supposed to be over your spine and your ears are supposed to be over your shoulders. That's how your spine really wants to work well for you. So if your curve is kind of going this way because you're doing a lot of activities like that, then you might want to work on it. By the way, I'm not trying to look like a snob, I'm just trying to get my neck where it belongs. After 48 years or however many years I've been playing violin, my neck is kind of going in the wrong direction, which is a little scary. So I have to work on it a lot. The second curve, if you take a hand and place it on your lower back and slump forward, you'll feel that your back flattens out. But when you lift up into a good posture, you can feel it indent right in the lumbar curve. A lot of people have lower back pain because they're in the wrong position. They're slumped and their head is forward. And that's just putting a ton of pressure on the spine. Not to mention that when your curves of life are flowing, all of the blood vessels and nerves in your spine are flowing too. So you really come to life. In fact, so many times when I'm working personally with clients, when I share this posture with them, their whole face starts to glow. I love to do it when I have a live coaching group as well. Everyone starts to sit up straight and their faces all start to glow with a help. And that's because we're now electrically alive. Our spines aren't working hard to just hold us up. Our spines are exactly the way they need to be so that it's easy. So why is the posture a stress tool? Two reasons. One is that when you get into a confident posture, you send a signal, not just to other people, but even to your own brain that you're now confident. So moving into a strong posture helps you do that. Another thing I've noticed is that when you get tight or you get upset about something, it's like all your energy dives down into the ground. But if you can lift it up and stay what I call above the line kind of comes out from your chest here. If you can stay up and have your energy be going up and out like this, then you're less apt to trigger the stress response. So posture can be a great tool to trick the brain and trick your own self into thinking, no, I've got this. Everything is going to be fine. I can do this. Two things you can do to help your posture be in a good alignment is to think of these two things. One is to take this breastbone of life of you here and pretend there's a hook and there's a big rope pulling you up. So it's lifting you up right here, right on this bone. Have you ever hauled in a boat onto a trailer out of the water? Well, you clamp the rope to the boat with a clamp, and then you work this cinch to bring up the boat onto the trailer. I think of this as bringing the boat up. It's lifting you up and out of the muck, up and out of the water. So breastbone life. Another thing that you can do is take your thumbs and turn them out away from your body. So they're kind of sticking out to the sides. It's a little strange looking, but if you do that, it opens up your chest and it pulls your scapulas together in the back so that you have a much better posture. So you can fool around with those two things to help you get into a better posture. My next tool is a long, slow belly breath. Now you've probably heard about this for years, if not decades, that when you're stressed out, take a nice long breath. I've known this, but I didn't know that I needed to start that breath within the first 10-second interval that I was feeling a certain emotion. If we don't start the breath in that time period, then it'll be too late and your face will turn red or you'll experience that you've gone into fight or flight. So the whole key is starting the breath within that 10 seconds that you first feel one of the emotions. In fact, that's the key with all of these tools. Being aware that this thing is about to trigger you and taking that interval of time to jump in with a tool. Let's take a couple breaths together. So put a hand on your chest, a hand on your belly, and just breathe normally. And take a look at what your hands are doing. Is your chest hand going up and down? Or is your belly hand going in and out? Or both? What we want to do is get most of the air going down into the abdomen so that you breathe from your belly instead of from your chest. But about 90% of Americans in North America are all chest breathers, starting about late elementary school, early middle school. You can reverse this out though with some practice. So let's just take a couple breaths together to get you started, and you can review this a few times if you need to. So first we're going to breathe out through our mouths, and I want you to tighten your belly muscle and lose the lumbar curve a little bit, like this. Then I want you to relax the belly muscles, move into a nice posture, and breathe in through your nose. And feel your belly just expand, just like a big balloon with air. So out again, and then relax, and up. So the more air that you can start to get down there, the more you can expand your lung tissue, then more oxygen and CO2 is exchanged. It will boost your health very quickly if you start to breathe deeper into your abdomen. Plus, it's a fabulous stress tool. This is the tool I use when I feel my heart rate going up. I just take a nice, long, slow breath, and I play with my heart rate. I can feel it kind of lower, and then it might start to charge again. I take another nice, long, slow breath. So this is a fabulous body tool to lower your heart rate so that your hormones don't go streaming out into your bloodstream. On worksheet 2.1, you're going to rate a few things. First, you're going to rate your overall stress level. Then you'll rate how relaxed your abs are. Are you pretty tight during the day, or can you move that freely? So check whether or not you feel that you're relaxed or not in your abs. And then do the same thing for your posture. And lastly, are you a chest breather or are you a belly breather? Where do you fall on that continuum? You're going to rate yourself on week 1, and then 6 weeks from now, you'll rate yourself on week 6 and see if you've made some progress in these areas. You'll see some questions on the worksheet too about when you can think about some of these things. Like for posture, I have to think about my posture at different times of my day or I just slump. So when I sit in my car, when I sit to eat, when I sit at the computer, these are times that I'm working on that. The first tool was relax your abs, then posture, and then the long, slow breath. So 3 body tools to help you get started. Go to your 1.3 worksheet and see if you can add some of these tools in to help you with your triggers. And I'll see you on the next video.